X-ray diffraction studies or XRD. The bending of light around the corner of an obstacle is known as diffraction. Some light are diffracted around the corner of the obstacle here. These two. In crystal studies, we use X-ray diffractions. The reason is its wavelength is 0.01 to 10 nanometer. They are able to penetrate to the crystals. Radiations with higher wavelength like visible light and lower wavelength like gamma ray does not diffract. They may get absorbed, reflect or transmitted through the crystals. X-rays are the only rays which diffract in crystals because their wavelength is comparable with the distance between the planes of the atom. Bragg's equation gives the relation between the wavelength of incident X-ray, the angle of incident and interplanar distance. Consider two layers of atoms. When X-ray falls on it, it will diffract. Draw a line perpendicular to the plane of the atom. Draw another line perpendicular to incident light. Another line perpendicular to reflected light or reflected X-ray. Name it as A, B, C, D. We can see two triangles here. Triangle ABC and triangle BCD. The angle of incident is theta. Consider this angle. This angle is a rectangle. So total angle will be 90 degree. It is divided into two. One of the angle is theta. The another angle will be 90 minus theta because the total is 90. This is a rectangle. Total 90. One angle is theta. Another angle is 90 minus theta. Consider this rectangle. Angle is total 90. One angle 90 minus theta. So this angle must be theta. So this angle must be theta. Total 90. One is 90 minus theta. The another one will be theta. We got angle ABC is theta. The same concept we can apply for the reflected X-rays. We got two rectangular triangles. One is a triangle ABC, another is triangle BCD. AC divided by BC. That means opposite side of the angle. Opposite side divided by hypotenuse. That is sin theta. BC is the distance between the layers of the atoms, that is D. AC divided by D equal to sin theta. So AC will be equal to D sin theta. CD will be also equal to D sin theta. So AC plus CD will be equal to 2D sin theta. Consider this part from the geometry, from BD, this segment. The waves from B and waves from the D are same phase. Similarly, this part B, A and B, the waves are coming in the same phase. The difference, it may be 1 lambda or 2 lambda or 3 lambda or 4 lambda. So we can say AC plus CD equal to n lambda. N lambda equal to 2D sin theta. This is Bragg equation. N lambda equal to 2D sin theta. Working of XRD. When electrons are bombarded with metals like molybdenum, copper, iron or chromium, it will emit some rays. These X-rays are used to irradiate the powdered sample. One XRD data is shown. We can see the metal used to make the X-ray is copper. It is given. We can see in case of copper there are two types of X-rays, A beta. When electrons are irradiated on copper metal, electrons will go to higher energy level. When it comes back to lower energy level, it will emit some radiation in the form of X-ray in case of copper. There are different lower energy levels, or there are different levels of energy in copper. It can go to first lower energy state or second or third. How does XRD works? When X-ray beam falls on powdered samples, it will diffract in certain angle. This is the XRD of one nickel oxide crystal. Here nickel oxide first diffract in the angle nearly 6, then 7, 9. We can see this is 2 theta values. Then the interplanar distance can be calculated from that. Another data provided is that the intensity and the FWHM, half width height maximum. This will help us to find out the crystallite size, this value. So 2 theta and d values are given. If you know the d value, we can calculate or we can find HKL, Miller indices. If the interplanar distance and Miller indices are known, it is easy to calculate the lattice constant or lattice parameter in case of cubic crystals. The lattice constants of other unit cells are also can be calculated. It is possible to use some softwares. If we feed DHKL values, it will give the lattice parameters. Packing fraction. It is possible to calculate the percentage of the unit cell occupied by atoms and the percentage of the unit cell not occupied by atom or vacant or voids. Space of voids and space of atoms in unit cell can be measured. This is the equation to calculate the packing fraction. P equal to NV divided by volume of unit. N means number of atoms in unit cell. V is the volume of the atom divided by volume of unit cell. In case of SEC, we know the number of atoms are 1 in SEC unit cell. Volume of atom. Atom is a sphere. The volume of the sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube divided by volume of unit cell. Unit cell is a cubic cube, so that the edge length of the cube is A. A cube is the volume of the unit cell. There is a relation between R and A. In case of SEC, we know A equal to 2R. If we apply the R and R cancel, we will get 0.52. That is the packing fraction. If you want to represent in percentage, we can say 52% is occupied by atom. The vacant space is 48% in case of SEC. In BCC, the number of atoms are 2. The volume of the atom is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube. As the atom is considered as a sphere, the volume of the sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. The volume of unit cell is A cube. A is the lattice constant or the length of the one edge. So A equal to 4R by root 3. If we apply this A value in this equation, we will get 0.68. 0.68 is the packing fraction. It is possible to represent in percentage, that is multiply 100, that is 68 percentage. In FCC, the number of atoms in unit cell is 4 and volume of the sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube divided by a cube. A in case of FCC, that is 4r by root 2. We know 4r equal to root 2 in case of FCC. A can be find out from this equation. If we apply A value in packing fraction equation, we will get the fraction 0.74. This is the packing fraction of FCC. 74% is occupied and remaining 26 not occupied. Packing fraction of FCC or cubic crystal packing and HCP are same. They have same packing fraction. Density of a unit cell. This is the equation helps to determine the density of the unit cell. Density of a unit cell equal to Zm A cube n, where Z is the number of atoms present in each unit cell and m is the relative atomic mass of the atom. A is the edge length or lattice parameter and n is the Avogadro number. If we apply these values in this equation, we will get the density of unit cell. Mass of a particular atom or mass of the particle is given. Mass of the atom equal to relative atomic mass divided by n. M by n is mass of the atom. Fluoride crystal structure. Fluoride crystal structure is nothing but FCC. Metal ions are occupying at the corners and faces. Fluoride ions are occupying at the tetrahedral voids. The blue colored spheres represent the metal ions like calcium or lead or plutonium. Blue balls. The picture shows all the corners and the faces are having metal ions. It's like an FCC, but these are having tetrahedral voids. It has an FCC has 4 particles in its unit cell. That means number of tetrahedral voids will be double of 4 or 2 multiply 4, 8 tetrahedral voids. Its ratio is 4:8. Its stoichiometric ratio is 1:2. 4:8 means 1:2. Fluorides like calcium, strontium, barium and lead, and oxides like plutonium, uranium and zirconium are having fluoride crystal structure. Antifluoride crystal structure. Antifluoride crystal structure is also FCC, but the arrangement of cation and anions are different from fluoride structure. In antifluoride crystal structure, anions occupy at the regular sites of FCC. Those are corners and faces. Corners and faces has fluoride ions or anions, and metal ion occupy inside the tetrahedral voids. This kind of crystal structure is known as antifluoride crystal structure. Here is shown the anions like oxide ion or fluoride ion occupying at the faces and corners of the FCC, and metal ions are occupying in tetrahedral voids. So they are 4 atoms in FCC, there will be 8 tetrahedral voids. These tetrahedral voids all are occupying with the cations or metal ions. The ratio will be 8:4. That means 2:1, like potassium oxide, lithium oxide, sodium oxide, or rubidium oxide, or sodium sulfide, potassium sulfide, and magnesium silicate. Zinc blende structure. This is the one of the structure of zinc sulfide. It is a cubic crystal structure or FCC. X ions or anions occupy at the regular sites of FCC. Those are faces and corners are occupied by anions. Metal ions like zinc occupy at the half of the tetrahedral voids. X ions occupy all the faces and corners. The yellow colored balls represent the anions, sulfide ions, or number of particles in FCC equal to 4, because half of the part of the atom occupying at the faces and 1/8 part of the atom occupy at the corners. There are 6 faces and 8 corners. If you do the calculation, 1/2 multiply 6 plus 1/8 multiply 8 equal to 4. We will get 4 atoms in FCC. Metal ions occupy half of the tetrahedral voids. Suppose there are n atoms, there will be 2n tetrahedral voids. Half of the tetrahedral void means 2n divided by 2, that is 4. So 4 metal ions are occupying at the tetrahedral voids. The ratio will be 4:4, or stoichiometric ratio is 1:1. The halides like silver iodide, cuprous bromide, boron nitride, boron phosphide, boron arsenide, cadmium sulfide, diamond are showing structure similar to zinc blende or structure similar to zinc sulfide or zinc blende structure. Woodside crystal structure. Zinc sulfide exists in 2 different structures. Those are zinc blende structure and woodside structure. Zinc blende structure is a cubic crystal structure, but woodside structure is not cubic. It is a hexagonal close packed structure. Here grey balls represent the metal atoms, that is zinc, and the blue balls represent the sulfide atoms or ions. Example of woodside structures are silver iodide, zinc oxide, cadmium sulfide, cadmium halide, silicon carbide, germanium nitride, aluminum nitride, and boron nitride. These are the examples of woodside structure or structure shows similar to zinc sulfide. Perovskate's crystal structure. Crystal structure similar to calcium titanate is known as perovskite crystal structure. In perovskate's crystal structure, calcium ions occupying at the center of the unit cell, cubic unit cell. Then titanium ion occupying at the corners, all the corners, and oxide ion occupying at the edges. Here in this structure, yellow balls represent the titanium ions and center has calcium ion. All the edges are occupying with the oxygen ions or oxide ions. These blue balls represent oxide ions. There is only one atom at the center. The number of titanium ions there are 8 corners. 1 by 8 part of the particle can occupy at a corner. So the total number of ions at the corners, total contribution will be 1. Oxide ion occupying at the edges, total contribution of an atom in edge 1 by 4 only. 1 by 4 multiply 12, number of edges are 12. 1 by 4 multiply 12 equal to 3. So its stoichiometric ratio will be calcium 1, titanium 1, oxide ion 3, calcium titanate. Coordination number of calcium is 12. It means calcium contact with 12 other atoms. Titanium is 6, shows titanium ion contact with 6 other ions. Oxide ion 2, one oxide ion contact with 2 other atom. Corundum is the crystal structure of aluminum oxide. It is not a cubic unit cell. It is a crystal with a trigonal symmetry. Impurities like iron, titanium, vanadium and chromium give specific color to corundum. Rutile crystal structure. Structure similar to titanium dioxide is known as rutile crystal structure. It is not a cubic unit cell, it is a tetragonal unit cell. The coordination number of titanium is 6 and coordination number of oxide ion is 3. Titanium is represented by the grey colored balls and oxide ion is represented by the white colored balls.